Hey folks, welcome. So in this lesson, we're going to talk about template architecture. And you might be thinking, well, we've certainly covered templates pretty in depth. What more could there be? Well, what we're talking about is using multiple templates together. And in a sense, we've done that already as well, using cross-stack references. And cross-stack references are certainly a way that we can modularize our infrastructure. And I'll use the example that we worked with, just having a different template for different groups in our organization. A networking template, a database template, a security template. And as we saw, if we need for example, VPC ID from the networking template, well, we can export that and it can be imported into a template. But there's another way that we can modularize as well, and that is with nested stacks. So let's go ahead and click on Template Architecture. And just looking at the notes on our diagram, we can organize stacks by lifecycle and ownership. And again, we've done that and have used cross-stack references to allow these stacks to work together. Now, one of the primary use cases of nested stacks is to reuse common template patterns. Let's say, for example, that you have 50 templates that are creating a VPC. Well, why not just pull that out into one template and reuse that template? And we can do that with nested stacks. After all, this is infrastructure as code, and it's a best practice to modularize your code and reuse your code whenever possible. So in that way, we can create dedicated templates for these common patterns and reuse them by nesting our stacks. And it's really easy to create the nested stacks. You just use the AWS CloudFormation stack resource in your template to reference other templates. And we'll see this shortly. So looking at our diagram, the root stack is the top level stack to which all nested stacks ultimately belong. So the root is, in a sense, a parent stack, and all those stacks below are children of the root stack. And even if you want to take it a step further, children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. For instance, stack D is a child of stack C, which is a child of stack B, and likewise B is a child of the root stack. But again, the goal is to pull out your very common patterns and put those into one template. Creating a VPC is a good example. Creating an elastic load balancer over and over and over again. Similar example, why not put that in one template, reuse it by using nested stacks? So this is a pretty straightforward concept actually, and we'll probably gain something by building one of these stacks and also by tearing it down. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to change the split screen. All right, and what I've brought up is a sample template from AWS, and it pretty much creates a nested stack to deploy a sample web app. So let's just step through this real quick. So our template has metadata, parameter group, and some parameters, parameter labels. And you'll see we'll have to enter these parameters when we build the stack. We're going to have to enter a database password, notification email, key pair for the Bastion host, another key pair, a general EC2 key pair. We have a little bit of AWS config going on. That's not terribly important for this lesson. We'll choose availability zones and the tenancy of the instances in our VPC. S3 bucket name, S3 key prefix. We have a bunch of mappings, but let's look at our resources. All right, IAM template, type AWS CloudFormation stack. Well, we just talked about that a few minutes ago. That is going to be a nested stack. Logging template, likewise, another nested stack. So you see, the parent template creates these resources which end up being nested stacks. Now these templates for these nested stacks, there's nothing special to them. They're just templates. Production VPC, again, another nested stack in the making. Management VPC template, config rules template, application template. And notice that the parameters for our application template is referencing other templates. So all of these templates, in a sense, are part of this main template. They're just obfuscated, and ultimately they're going to be our nested stacks. So that's really nested stacks in a nutshell. Key part of this, again, your parent stack is going to create a resource for each nested stack, and the type is AWS CloudFormation stack. And in the properties section, it's just specifying where to find this template. All right, so that's nested stacks in theories. Let's build this, and it will be instructive to watch this build in CloudFormation. Let's go into CloudFormation, and let's create a stack, and I'm going to upload this template. It has everything we need. So this is the main root template, and then it's creating all these nested stacks, and it has the reference to the S3 bucket containing these child templates. So we're ready to go. So let's click next, and let's upload our main YAML template, and click next. All right, stack name. Let's provide a database password, and I'm just going to insert my email. And we just need a key pair. We're not going to log into anything, but it's a required field. Select some availability zones. I'll select 3. Here's our bucket. S3 bucket containing all of these child templates. Instance tenancy. Default. We'll just keep it default. It could be dedicated. We don't need that. Let's click next. And we can next through options. And remember the acknowledgments, or we'll get an error. And create. All right. And I'll just mention that this whole stack creation, so realize that 6 or 7 stacks are being created. I'm not sure the exact number. So this takes 15 to 20 minutes. So it starts with the root stack, but as you can see, it quickly goes to building these nested child stacks. And our root stack will not get to a create complete status until and if all of these nested stacks are built. It's just like a single stack as well. If there is a problem, a rollback is going to occur. All right, now just provide updates along the way, and notice that our IAM template stack creation has completed. More progress, we have 3 completed nested stacks. All right, our management VPC template completed. So the only nested stack left is the application template, and it kind of makes sense that this would take the longest to create. This is kind of the business end of the stack. And again, just note our root stack still in progress because it's all or nothing. So this one either completes and then the root stack can complete, or if there's an error, root stack's going to roll back. Everything's going to roll back. All right, so our application template has completed, and now our root stack is wrapping things up. Still not complete yet, but it shouldn't take long from here. And just realize that took about 20 minutes. So in total, 6 stacks are being created. So it did take a little bit of time. All right, and then finally, our overall stack is built. All right, and if we just browse to the landing page, there we go. So we have our nested stack and we have our modularized infrastructure. Now to complete this lesson, let's just tear this thing down. Actions, delete stack. Yes. So delete in progress, but same concept. These nested stacks are going to be deleted, and you can see the progress as I'm speaking. And the deletion of the root stack will not complete until all of these are deleted. And notice as these nested stacks get deleted, they disappear from the dashboard. We went from 5 down to 3, and it's a big stack. And this will keep progressing unless, of course, there's some kind of an error in the deletion. All right, more progress. We're down to 2 nested stacks, down to 1 nested stack, and it is in process of deleting. And then finally, a little bit more cleanup, and our nested and our root stack will delete as well. All right, so deletion is complete, and our root stack and all of the nested stacks are gone. So that is nested stacks. If you have patterns in your templates that are reused often, why not pull them out? Why not nest your stacks, modularize your code, your infrastructure as code? Thank you for joining me. Let's move on to the next lesson.